It started recording without my consent. Illegal. Okay, I'm back. Let's try a new intro. Okay. Other than mindless rambling. Hey, it's Faye, and that's already my intro. Actually, I haven't done it, I don't think, since my first video. This is my third. Welcome to my video. You get to say that you were here before I hit 20 subscribers. Congrats. I don't remember how many I have. I have some left over from when I had a child account, or when I had an account as a child. English graduate. But today we are reading the second chapter of Sounds Delicious Shokugeki no Setsuko, which is my Food Wars fanfiction. I really want to I like doing this because it encourages me to keep writing it, because otherwise I won't have anything to film. I want to get a crochet video out soon. I think this video is going up after my second twist video. Second and last twist video, I think. I don't think I'm gonna make any more of those reaction ones, because I just didn't enjoy it, and it's kind of like put me off of the anime, which I was so excited for. I was so excited to have an anime to watch, and like the season's already over. Before I even posted my first video, it was over. But yeah, I don't think I'll be doing any more reaction content, unless I find something I really want to react to. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, let's get into the video. I need to sit up so that I can actually be in frame properly. I have a bad habit of slouching, and it's actually starting to like make my shoulder hurt. Like, don't tell my mom. Okay. Anyways, so, all the usual disclaimers. I'm not a chef. I don't cook, so I don't know if any of this is good. And I'm also not a professional writer. I got this from Five Below. Wait. I'm gonna use it. Okay. And then I don't have to, like, be reaching all the way. Anyways. Yeah, if you want to read this, it's on my AO3. It's the title that I said earlier. Sounds Delicious, Shokugeki no Setsuko. And then if you want to look it up by my username on there is also Haunted Fae. So enjoy the video. It's 3 minutes in and I haven't actually started. So let's just, yeah, I'm looking over here. Does that look okay if I'm looking over here? I don't think I like that. I'll be right back. Okay. I think this is better. There might be a glare on my glasses because I have the blinds open. Maybe I'll close the blinds. I'm gonna close the blinds real quick, but I'm not gonna pause. Yeah, maybe one day I won't post a fan fiction and I'll just post like me reading my original writing. That's what I'm trying to work up to with this, is getting myself in the habit of writing and to read my own writing so that I can eventually share my own original works. But for now, well, this is my original work, other than the dialogue of some bits, because I am taking from the dub of the anime. Let's just get started, finally. It was a week or so later that I received an unexpected letter from Totsuki. An acceptance letter, in fact. I received admonishments from my family for being so modest about the results of the exam, even though I had thought I had straight up failed. I mean, Nakari said it herself, "You fail." But perhaps she changed her mind? Yukihira and I can't use the scroller thing because it just jumps down too far, so I'm gonna have to click. Yukihira and I had exchanged some recipes over the week between the transfer exam and receiving the letter. I was worried about telling him that I'd been granted that I'd been granted entrance because I didn't want to seem like I was bragging or anything. Also, I was still upset with him as he had convinced me to make and eat the most cacophonous concoction ever. The sadist had even made sure to have me on FaceTime as I did. Water hadn't dulled the noise, my throat burned for hours. It seemed, however, that my worries were unfounded, for he messaged me that he had gotten into Totsuke. That made more sense to me than my own admission, honestly. Despite my feelings about his wicked recipes, I was glad and fearful. We stand side by side at the entrance ceremony, waiting to be called to introduce ourselves as the director, Sensei Nakiri, makes his address to those who had come up from the middle school division. He warns that over our 3 years, our class size will dwindle. Last year, we started with 812. I can't count. That's not counting, that's just saying numbers. Okay. Last year, we started with 812 high school division freshmen, and the number that was allowed to proceed on was just 76. Oh, he really meant it. That is concerning. Will I even make it past the first month? The mediocre and the inept are cast aside without mercy. Out of 1,000 freshmen, only 100 will advance, and you will be able to count on one hand those who reach graduation. I feel nauseous. The taste of synthetic anago is not helping, the microphone turning the light and sweet taste sickly. The odds are not in your favor, but you can make it happen. Study hard, cook hard. Best of luck to you. One of the aides nudges us to stand up. I can't believe we have to follow that. And finally, I would like to introduce our new transfer students. I walk behind Yukihira. There are so many people. All of them, people I'll be competing with to keep my spot here. Even Yukihira. The saying goes that if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, but a chef can't just leave. Not respectably, and not before they're burnt to a crisp. Well, sorry to be all up here in the spotlight and everything, he chuckles awkwardly, thankfully taking the mic first. Never mind that, just hurry up and introduce yourself, the announcer says. Okay, I'll make this short and sweet, I'm sure y'all need to study. So, my name's Soma Yukihira, and well, to be honest, it's an honor to even attend this school. I'm glad he's being respectful. For a second I was worried that as a stepping stone in my career. Oh no. Now sure, my transfer was kind of unexpected, but I still don't plan on losing to a bunch of wannabes who have never even stood in front of a customer before. I mean, come on, am I right? Yukihira. I wish I could bury my face in my hands, instead I just stare in disbelief. Maybe I shouldn't associate with him anymore, even though that would be mean. He is a nice person and a talented chef, he's just conflict pursuant. Anyway, since I'm here and everything, I might as well take the top spot. He steps aside casually and gestures for me to take his spot at the mic. I hope I don't look pale as I face the glares of my new classmates. Granted, they aren't directed towards me, but the heat of them still scalds me. Yes, hello. My name is Miara Setsuko. I'm very grateful to be here. I hope we can get along. Please take care of me. I step back and bow, hoping my platitudes will gain some grace, as robotic as they felt. Alrighty then, see a few of you at graduation. Why, Yukihiro, why? People begin to throw things at the stage as he walks off oblivious. Dear Lord, what did I get myself into by becoming friends with him? He sighs. Glad we got through that. We, I reply, but he's distracted by Nakari, who stands in front of a line of chairs at the side of the stage. Huh? Oh, it's you! It was Erina, right? You should call her Nakari-san, Yukihiro-kun, I sigh, bowing my head politely to the girl. I sure was nervous up there. I don't think a single person could tell. When I was a kid, getting awards always made me uncomfortable. So, how'd you think I did? It wasn't weird, right? It was very confrontational, I sigh. Huh? Really? He really didn't realize it? How the hell is this happening right now? Nakiri shouts. What is this? What are you two doing at this school? We received a notice of acceptance, I answer, pulling my letter out of my pocket as Yukihira does the same. Were you not the one to admit us? No, that's absurd. I thought I didn't make it in. I thought I didn't make it in. You said my food was disgusting, Yukihira said arrogantly. If something's delicious, you should just own up and say it. Yukihira-kun, I sigh. Excuse me? Nakari riles up again, then collects herself, fixing us both with an icy glare. I'll make myself clear. I do not approve of this decision, not of you, or of your peasant cooking. Peasant cooking? Does she even know how most fine cuisine came about? How most cuisine, period, came about? This is obviously some sort of mistake, and you've been accepted by a clerical error. Take this top spot, will you? Don't make me laugh. All the students who advanced from the middle school division have learned cutting-edge gastro techniques. You don't have nearly enough training for this. I tense at the implication. She's assuming things with no frame of reference. There's no way you can measure up to them. Have fun trying to play catch up. She walks past us, and if I were a lesser person, I would trip her. Unfortunately, I was raised right, unlike her. Middle school training, huh? She stops and turns back to face Yukihira. Yes, that's right. She seems confused by him echoing her statement. I was 3 years old the first time I held a chef's knife. Isn't that dangerous? My dad taught me, and I spent the last 12 years in the kitchen. I won't let you call my or Setsuko's food disgusting. Did he just call me by my first name? But he's standing up for both of us, too, so... Ugh. Just you wait, Aaron and Akari. I'm gonna make that mouth of yours. Canon dialogue. I need to remind you. I edit somewhat because I need to include Setsuko in there. But this is the canon dialogue. Ooh. Just you wait, Aaron and Akari. I'm gonna make that mouth of yours. I can't say that without giggling. That mouth of yours say my food is delicious. I'll show you what my cooking's all about. The two stare at each other until Nakari just turns and leaves huffily. Hey, Yukihira-kun. Yeah? I can't decide whether to thank him or scold him. Thank you. He didn't have to include me in his defense, but he did. That was nice, even though I wish he was more polite. And that he hadn't used my first name for the first time in an argument. Anytime, he smiles cheerily. So, how do we get to class? Follow this other students, maybe? I thought there would be a teacher or aide to direct us, but apparently not. For better or worse, Yukihira and I ended up in the same class, though luckily we weren't paired together. His partner seems like a sweet girl, and mine is a nonchalant and quiet boy. He seems pretty laid back. We go to practice room 3, where the chef stations are already arranged and ingredients are laid out. My partner and I take the chef station beside the wall, nearby to Yukihira and the blue-haired girl. My name is Miyara Setsuko. It's a pleasure to meet you. Ono Tadashi. His voice is soft, like lentil soup. I can barely taste it over the spiced anger of our classmates whispering. It's not hard to know what about. The subject of the glares is tossing an onion casually. So, do you... Oh my god, Dan and Phil posted! What the fuck was that? I need to sit up for my shoulder. And also so I'm in frame properly still. Okay. Where was I? So do you know him? We only just met at the transfer exams. I try to minimize my connection to Yukihira. It's not like I'm lying. Oh no, not. Pay attention. I'm not going to do a French accent because I'm gonna butcher it. And I love France. I was a French student for like 7 years. 7 years because I graduated a year early. Humble brag. But yeah, I'm not gonna do the accent. Pay attention, a French accent and voice commands. Chef Chappelle stands at the front, and a teacher's aide is beside him. Chef Chappelle actually worked a few times with Oji-chan, and my Oji-chan means grandpa. I include Japanese words because this character is Japanese, even though I'm American. If I use them wrong, yell at me and I will fix it. Chef Chappelle actually worked a few times with Oji-chan, and my parents still supply his restaurant with specialty food products. He's a very stern man, but I don't remember much about him other than when he'd come over for drinks at my grandparents' place in France. But I was just a kid back then. I don't know how to say it. If I repeat things, just go with it. Please. I'm pretty sure I've done that like a billion times by now. Anyways. But I was just a kid back then. Good morning. Time to learn, my young apprenti. Apprenti. Why is it? Oh my god, it wants me to. It's autocorrecting to English. He's French. Google. Google hates when I'm bilingual. Google Docs hates when I'm bilingual. All autocorrect, honestly. Good morning, Master Chef, the class choruses. Yukihiro and his partner whisper among themselves as the chef begins to speak. I subtly tap their station and gesture for them to pay attention. The moment you step foot in the kitchen, you are responsible for producing extraordinary food, regardless of your gastronomic experience nor your pedigree in life. Exactly the sentiment one can expect from a Master Chef, one that Nakari should take note of. My class rules are very strict. Any dish that is not an A will be viewed as an E, and that, my friends, is a failure. Exactly the sentiment I should expect from Totsuki's professors. This isn't going to be fun, but it is school, so I guess I shouldn't expect it to be. As Chef Chappelle flips through a recipe book, the class whispers among themselves, people who have cooked together for years gossiping about who will pass and who will fail. Some look worried, and others look cocky. Many give looks to Yukihira, including some particularly vile glares from the boys behind him. You know about Chef Chappelle's nickname, right? Ono asks. No, I didn't know he had one. He's called the chef that never smiles. He's incredibly merciless. He'll fail you just for just a small mistake. Ono glances at the chef, who was now directing a teacher's aide to write on the board. Oh, never smiles. He always seemed happy when he was cooking. Maybe I'm misremembering or mistaking him for someone else. Apprenti, today's menu item is boeuf bourguignon. It is a staple of traditional French cuisine. It originated in France's peasantry as a way to soften meat that was too tough to eat when cooked normally. Eventually, the method spread and was adapted into the dish it is today, and even crossed class lines to be known as fine cuisine. True. This is true. I researched. I put the recipe on the whiteboard for you to follow. You have 2 hours to prepare it. Present your dishes once they're complete. Now then, let's begin. Everyone, commence au cœur. Did I pronounce that right? I hope I did. He leaves the classroom with the teacher's aide. A proper bourguignon will be very difficult to execute within that time limit. I'll be right back. It's hard to see the recipe on the board from where I stand with all the people in the way. I find Yukihiro joining me, though he seems to be studying it more intensely. Have you cooked a boeuf bourguignon before, Yukihiro-kun? Nope, but it doesn't seem too complicated. It really isn't. Good luck then. The recipe on the board is a basic boeuf bourguignon, not anything complicated. It's truly just the bare bones of the recipe. Oji-chan will call it an uncomposed melody. It's beautiful on its own, but it's better when you add your own sound. Anyone can cook it, so give them a reason not to. I return to my station to find Ono cutting vegetables. Would you be willing to depart from the recipe on the board? I ask. As long as we pass, he shrugs, and I nod. We will. All right, then. I'll trust you. The magic of writing. Since he's working on the vegetables already, I start on the meat. Ideally, I'd cook it for around 4 hours. Luckily, my dad loved boeuf bourguignon, but he's terrible at planning meals ahead of time, or giving himself adequate time to make it. So I have lots of experience experimenting with speeding up the process. Oh my god. Water break. Hydrate, everyone. Hydrate or die straight. That's what my girlfriend says. And I don't want to do that, so. I feel like I look wild when I do that, but like I don't want to mess up my lipstick. And I don't want to get lipstick on my cup. Not my cup, my bottle. So. C'est la vie. Okay. First, I'll take some salt and water and bring it to a boil. Then, I'll put the meat in and let it rest for 15 minutes. After that, I'll wash off the meat and cut it into smaller pieces, as is proper for the dish. Tenderizing the meat beforehand will ensure that it becomes fork tender and properly marinates within the 2-hour time limit. And since the process takes away some time from the dish cooking, I sear the edges of the meat in a pan with some bourguignon before placing them in the stew that Ono prepared. Now, it's a matter of waiting. Yukihira is wandering around the room while the blue-haired girl watches their pot intently. I noticed Yukihira didn't put on his headband today, and he took more of a backseat to his partner's lead. Maybe because he hasn't cooked this dish before. Hey Megami, Setsuko, check it out. There must be like 1,000 seasonings in here. He waves jovially at us. So, you just met at the transfer exam, huh? Oh no, ass, an eyebrow cocked in rightful suspicion. I sigh. So much for minimizing my relation to him. Why does he keep using my first name? I never said he could. The blue-haired girl, Megami, walks past us to get her plate. I follow her while Ono cuts some items for our own plating. Yukihira-kun is very enthusiastic, I say, trying to strike a conversation. She seemed on edge this entire time, and cooking isn't meant to be stressful. Yeah, she nods with a sigh. Oh, I'm Tadokura Megami, by the way. Miara Setsuko. It's a pleasure to meet you, Tadokura-san. Tadokoro-san. What? Typo. Editing. I smile and then notice Ono about to open our pot. Ono-san, I told you to leave it be. I sigh and rush back to my station. I will tell you when it's done. You said you would trust me on this. That was before you put a bunch of different herbs and stuff in there. We both agreed on those. Stop worrying, please. He reluctantly backs off and we start arranging. Our plate. He's a lot more nervous than he seemed initially. What the heck is that in there? Tadokoro gasped loudly, drawing my attention, but also Chef Chappelle's. He came back in at some point while we were cooking and is carefully observing the class like a hawk observing prey. It's salt. Oh my god, what do we do? There's no way we can use this meat anymore. It'll take over an hour. The meat needs more time to get tender and for it to soak up all the flavors. She rambles and starts to tear up. Yukihira walks away, so I leave Ono to comfort her. Our plate is finished anyways, just waiting for the meat to finish. Then it's going to be another 30 minutes for the flavors to blend in the sauce, but we only have 30 minutes left. But if we present this oversalted mess to Chef Chappelle, he'll fail us out of school for sure. She starts crying, clutching a red charm. I rub her shoulder awkwardly. Oh, it'll be alright, Tadokoro-san. I try to comfort her, but honestly, I'm really bad at it. It's a shame she's so upset and fearful. Her bright voice from before was like fresh onigiri. You could tell she was feeling relaxed, and now whoever did this ruined that. I can help you try to fix this. I'm not sure how, though. We could dilute it, but then the flavor would be lackluster. I brought the backup ingredients. Yukihira puts them down on the counter. Well, want to get started? He also brought honey, which is a tenderizer, but won't get the results that they need as quickly as they need it. Really quick, I need to... Whoop, okay. By the way, I also did research on this. Honey is a tenderizer, but it works very slowly. The salt brine that she uses does work very quickly, which is why I had her use it and why she is now suggesting it to them. I wanted to clear that up because I'm changing canon for a reason, and it's because I like learning things, and I learned this, so yeah, but honey is a tenderizer. They got that right. They just got it wrong that it'll help you make something like that in 30 minutes. But Soma, there's no way we'll be able to get this done in time. That teacher said some pretty smart things today, huh? He rips his headband off his wrist. I suppose he's getting serious now. We may be students, but above all, we're chefs. So, no matter what, the food must go out. Help me. Help me. Tadokoro nods, suddenly impassioned and wiping her tears. Yukihira asks her to get some herbs and preps the meat while she's gone. He was, but I stopped him. Hey, wait, marinate it in boiling baking soda and salt water for a bit. The honey won't tenderize it in time. Baking soda will do it even faster, but it will taste terrible. So make sure if you do that, you rinse it off. The honey won't tenderize it in time. Huh? Why not? I help him set up a new pot. Oh my god. Winter. Gotta love it. Huh? Why not? I help him set up a pot with a new mixture. Honey takes a long time to tenderize meat, 2 hours at minimum. I'd still add it to your dish, it won't hurt to have, and it will help cover any flavors left over from the boiling and somewhat help with tenderizing. Boiling in baking soda and salt water will tenderize it within 10 minutes, so you can spend the last 20 minutes cooking it in the proper solution. Just make sure to rinse it before you prep it, otherwise the salt and baking soda will ruin the flavor. Oh wow, I didn't think about that. Thanks, Setsuko. After he yelled my name across the kitchen, I figured it's too late to cut my losses. I also want to clarify, because I realized while reading this, it comes across like she just suddenly decided to hate Yukihira. She's doing this because she doesn't want to be hated by her new classmates. She was initially planning to be like, oh yeah, we kind of know each other, not that well, so that people wouldn't hate her as much as they hate Yukihira. Um, but that did not work. So, I figured it's too late to cut my losses. I'm officially associated with him, so I might as well help him. Plus, Tadokoro doesn't deserve to fail. I returned to my station, Ono giving me an oddly intense yet unimpressed look. Why did you help them? Ono asked. You heard what he said at the welcoming ceremony, right? You were right next to him. If anything, he deserved to have his dish ruined. No, regardless of what he said, I don't think that's true. I shake my head. Good food is good food, and it's wasteful to ruin it like that. A true chef would never stoop to such callow forms of pettiness. Besides, even if I did believe Yukihira couldn't deserve to fail, Tadokoro-san doesn't. We sit in a tense silence as we wait. Finally, the meat finishes cooking, notably after Tadokoro and Yukihira got an A and caused chef's. Oh my god. Winter. I love winter, actually. It's so pretty. And I get to stay inside. I don't know if I like having my hair up. I mean, I look cute. I'm not gonna deny that, but... Anyways, who got an A and caused Chef Chappelle to smile. But his face quickly fades into his usual stern expression as we walk up to present our dish. Impartiality at its finest. I'm glad to finally have an examiner who knows the meaning of the word. For your pleasure, please enjoy, I say as I set down the dish. I let my hair down from my kanzashi because the way I twisted it was hurting my head. I need to stop doing it so tightly. Miara, correct? Miara, correct? He inspects the look of the dish. Yes, chef. I knew your grandfather. I'm sorry for your loss, but don't expect me to grant you any leniency for it, alright? That was an unnecessary comment. I tense at the reminder. Yes, chef, I would expect nothing less. I watch as he takes a bite. I remember cooking this with Oji-chan and another chef. I was unsure if it was truly Chef Chappelle, but seeing the serene smile that comes onto his face makes the memory click into place. French classical. That's the sound of this dish, and the song that would play through Oji-chan's kitchen at my grandparents' home in France. It was before they moved back to Japan, and I would visit in the summer. He invited Chef Chappelle over, and together we made this. Well, I just cut the vegetables, and Chef Chappelle would always correct my knife work. It was the first time I'd cooked with anyone outside of my family, but the two men harmonized so well together in the kitchen you'd think they did it every day, their voices melding like a spiced scallop soup. Oh, no, not soup. Their voices melding like a spiced scallop sauce. It's an amazing coincidence I'd ever be cooking this again for Chef Chappelle. I thought after Oji-chan's passing I'd never... Well, that didn't happen, so there's no point in saying it. I'm glad I got to cook for him again, to show him that I've improved. Just like Yuji's, he muses with a hum. Ono seems shocked, and I am too. My grandfather was a maestro. I couldn't possibly compare with a rush dish like this. How did you manage this? We tenderized the meat beforehand with the salt brine and seared it in a pan with wine. I explained, since Ono still seems a bit nervous to be in front of Chef. And I heard you helped Yukihira and Tadokoro with their dish. I gave them some tips, but it was all their work. He smirks and shakes his head before he looks intensely at us. Chefs Ono and Miara, you get an A. We bow to the chef and go back to our station. Next group. We start to clean up, and I end up putting spices away with Yukihira. Soma, Tadokoro approaches. Megami, good work today. He puts the honey away and turns to face her. I'm still trying to find where I found the sea salt. You'd think it'd be more obvious for such a widely used ingredient. Um, no, thank you, and thank you, Miara-san, for all your help too. It's all thanks to you that I... Nah, nah, it's fine. We should work together again, Megami. It was all your work that created that dish, Tadokura-san. I finally found the salt shelf. Well, you and Yukihiro-kun. By the way, now that the three of us have gotten acquainted, you want to try one of my new dishes? Yukihiro asked, with a smile on his face that I don't quite trust. Oh, are you sure? She has not been tricked by this devil yet, so her trust in him is understandable. I would love to try it. Yukihiro pulls out a container and I take a step back, ending up just beside Tadakura. He's his green. Oh my god, I can't read. English graduate. Oh, my shoulder. Okay. I need one of those posture trainer things. Here, his grin turns creepily evil, the lid opening to reveal honey-covered squid. That looks worse than what he tricked me into making. Huh? I don't... Tadokura looks confused. Tadokura-san, perhaps you shouldn't. Yukihiro shoves a piece of squid in my mouth as I speak. I cover my ears instinctively, the worst and loudest squelching filling my ears. It's honey-coated dry squid. Before she can flee, Tadokura is also subjected to the violating, disgusting, hell-produced screech of the dish. I gag, barely able to swallow, if only because I don't want to throw up on the pristine floor of the kitchen. Yukihiro-kun laughs maniacally. You are a sick and perverse man, Yukihiro-kun. I tremble as I put my hands down. In the time between classes, I managed to brew some tea to wash the sticky taste from Tadokura and I's mouths. The warm crackle of ginger tea chases the last remnants of the wet, squishy nightmare. End of chapter. So, I put this in my endnote as well. I actually did not use a recipe for this one. I just cobbled a bunch of research together, and I don't have links for those because I forgot to grab them. But, oh, yes. I don't know if brining and using baking soda together would tenderize the meat faster, but both of them separately do tenderize meat pretty quickly. Definitely faster than honey. But obviously, anime is not reality, and you cannot make boeuf bourguignon in 30 minutes. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed this chapter. If you want to read the text or you want to bookmark it, please go on to AO3 and do that. If you want to listen to me reading the first chapter, I posted that video some time ago. The second chapter should be up already because I'm trying to have my upload schedule weekly for that, but these videos will go up later because I also do these weekly, but I needed to do my second twist video. Yeah, I can't speak English is my first language is the thing, and sometimes I feel like that doesn't show. I need to stop. There's someone walking outside my door. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. Have a nice day. Like, subscribe, comment if you want to. Free choice. Okay, bye.